So today's we're talking about, we're going to discuss about love.
Ooh la la.
Oh, see somebody. Okay, so you all got a chance to watch the video. So
Eros and something, Fifi, I can't remember the second one, and Agape, yeah.
Eros, Philo, you can either call that, and then Agape. So we'll discuss that, and it's going to help us because we sometimes have questions like, oh, is that love? Is that not love? But we're going to help you have deeper. So for the three pillars, the overlapping stronger is about the love for ourselves, the love for our family and friends, and the society. But it is also actually overlapping into our third pillar in our reign, because in our business, remember, we talk about contribution, talking about creativity, talk about wealth creation, and also what more important with the overlapping of the significance. Okay, and what's the third overlapping? Anyone would know or remember?
I was kind of listening in and out of doing other stuff, so I'm a little bit guilty there. I was trying to absorb it. I think I did it twice, but I was still in and out, so I apologize for that.
Sorry, what, you trying to do something else?
Oh, as I was listening to the love video, like there was stuff going on in the background as well, so I was kind of listening. Yeah, so I do apologize.
Oh, so yeah, okay. So, but they didn't take out the sound because I told my VA to get the sound. But anyway, we'll pay attention to that. Anyway, so it's the growth, all right? But love is one of the most important things that we also need to put our love into our business, that being passionate, okay? So let's focus on those three. Now, when you guys when we talk about agape love, oh, what am I doing? Share screen. Oh, I was going to show you. Look at whose lady is here.
Well, there's two.
Someone been growing after we did the one. There's two of them or three of them on screen. Can you tell the difference? After a few hours, well, normally it would take a full day, but Eve was living such at cost that it took us 2 hours to go through the whole procedure in timeline therapy to help her to overcome some of her, personal limitation. And can you see the differences? Can you see
how like it had skin thing, a skin, a facial?
Yeah. It's almost like everything just lifted, even with a smile, photo as well. But can you tell the difference? Okay, so this is so amazing. Let me bring the cool. Okay, let's go for full screen. You guys can see it, love?
Beautiful. Yep.
Okay, so Eros, Philos, and Agape. All right. So if we were going through the process of Eros, it's referring to the physical or sexual love. Okay, it's the romantic love. Often in the society, we often talk about the romantic love.
Yeah, I was wondering how much coming into that, because it sounded like a lot of it sounds like lust as well, like, those first attraction and you just think you're in love, but it's like a lustful thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about that and whether that kind of was a separate thing or if that was sort of part of Eros or...
Okay. So, well, if we look at the English dictionary, it's really love is only one word, but it's actually action as well. Word or noun to describe how love is a feeling, but love is actually an action as well. But when you go into the Greek philosophy, they actually have three. We're not just referring to the biblical, because like Tam, you're a Christian, so you probably have heard of that. There's three different types of love. Okay, lust is actually one of the sin in the Bible they describe. Okay, but in general for creation, just think about it. Whether you believe in God or whether it's divine or higher power, think about us women's physiological structure and man's physiological structure. How unique is it when we make love to one another. How's that structure? It's just such a lovely combination. Unfortunately, in the modern society, people love to like give the finger up. All right. It's so rude, isn't it? It's like, but the fact is, I think that got tainted about it. Okay. I'm not saying in the Bible, in the biblical time, there was no laws, no, what you call it? The same-sex attraction. It's all been spoken in the Bible as well, in the ancient times. So it's not anything new. But in the past, when we talk about gay, let's have a gay time, it's a good time. But when you talk about gay now, what does that mean? It's same sex, all right? We accept everyone, but the fact is, it changed along the time, but it get tainted. And normally we talk about love or sex, mostly often from the ancient time to now, we talk about love and between, a couple. Let's not debate whether we have sex before marriage or sex after marriage, that type of thing is a whole lot of philosophical issues there as well. But when a man and a woman, when we talk about that, when they join in union, it's just not about the physical action. We talk about the psychological and emotion connection as well. That is the whole emblem of love. But when you talk about lust, okay, like King David, anyone familiar with the Bible story about King David? He went after one of his commander or general wife when someone was bathing on a rooftop. It's like, hello, like, do you know not to have a bath on a rooftop when it's open air and which is near the palace? All right, so let's not go. But the last is like, we talk about men. You know when a man was attracted to you, their eyes are wide open. Men see, women hear. Would you agree? Yes, we say, oh, he's handsome, but it's just the outside. But when they can talk, you know how sometimes you get like, oh, he likes me, or Eve will share more about her current experience as well when you're ready, Eve, okay? So love is so much. Lust is something that beyond what's not belongs to us. We want more. We lust about somebody. Okay. Okay. It's not glitching. Okay. So it's more about love. But lust means we are going after something that does not belongs to us. Does that help you to understand the differentiation?
I saw it in a different way. Like when you first in a relationship or when you first meet someone and you fancy them or whatever, it's like, like for people, it can be really about, looks and just how you feel because you're attracted to them. It's sort of that beginning of things. And I just meant it like that kind of thing. And it can be more physical, rather than like,
okay. So are you saying that within a couple, does that mean that's about our partner or the man loves more about the women in that aspect?
Sorry, say again.
Okay, when you say, is like, so last mean is like, is outside a relationship. Okay, so, but when you first got together, the care that we have with one another, that you're longing to be with your partner, longing to see the person. Every second minute you think about, what he's doing, what he's up to. That's nothing to do with us. It's just, naturally, our hormone, our connection getting very strong. Okay. But why does it die down? That's what we call this like eros, is the romantic love. Is it going to die down throughout the period of time, or you develop into the philos, you develop into agape? Okay, because you ask older couples, do they have intercourse all the time? Probably not. Quite exhausting having sex, to be honest. All right. So, but you can see, how many of you have seen elderly couple holding hand in a park? The man would just, slightly pet their, the cheek, and the woman is like, oh, how beautiful. Have anyone of you seen that? Or I'm like just thinking of, But
it's awesome when you see that it's still there after lots of years of marriage. I mean, 40, 50 years, and they still care for one another. It's beautiful.
Exactly. But could you feel that as well? When I look at this, oh, how beautiful. I feel their love too. Okay. So that is, we grow. After the romantic love, you don't stop loving one another. But it might not be so-called the fiery, like, you can't get your hands off each other. So perhaps that might be, terms that, does that mean it's last, But the fact is, okay, some couple in their 30, 40 or 50 years old, they would still can't get their hands off from each other. Okay, here you go. Like all of us are adult here. How many of you actually have walked into your parents? Something that you cannot watch off, like.
Oh, I'd hate that. No.
Okay.
Nobody.
All right. Recalls my memory. Oh, good on them. But like, please. Yeah. Okay. So we all here would have experienced the romantic love. Wasn't it good? Or isn't it good? Now, if the floor is yours, because you're really at the stage.
Oh my God, I'm at Eros. Yeah, no,
Look at her.
We're having a great time. So, but I mean, I've been deliberately, almost taking on the online dating as a game. And I've always said, and especially after our clearing, I sat down and wrote my standards, my expectations, and my I ams that I taped and played. And I manifested this to happen because I've been saying all along I wanted something organic. I didn't want it online. But the online helped me to discover, one, my boundaries, two, loving myself, not being that person that I once was, where I saw rejection as meaning there was something wrong with me that no longer existed, and I was out for high-hanging fruit, not the low-hanging fruit. So my boundary setting was really good, and it was good to go out and have that experience of and getting the momentum up to do the dating. So I found that this stage of my life doing online dating was very different than it had been decades ago, right? So it was really good. So and then out of the blue, it happened. Like when I was least expecting it, through a friend of a friend. We have mutual friend. She said to Sam, about me, showed him a photo. She showed me a photo and said about him, and I went, what the hell? I've been going out and dating strangers. I'll meet him. He seems a lovely person after what she gave him, great accolades, and she spoke so highly of him, and I liked his Facebook and what was on there and his image. And so we met, and it was the most romantic date I've been on in my life. We went to the Crown for our first date. We went to the Spice Temple. I did nothing. We laughed, we talked. Our first contact was on the phone, and we spoke for 3.5 hours, like amazing conversation. And then text messages, and then the date. He picked me up at 5 o'clock. Picked me up. I was talk about old fashioned. I thought, oh God, because normally I'd be off in my car meeting somewhere safe and all that. So he came and picked me up. We went out to the Spice Temple, to the Crown, had a walk around. We sat. Look, I don't even know where the night went, from 5 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning, and we talked and laughed, and that was our first date. I'm now, ladies, on my 5th date.
Wow.
So, yep. So on the weekend, he took me to Gold Class, and we went to a Japanese restaurant and watched Maverick, and conversation's still getting stronger and feelings are getting stronger, and it's just amazing. So, yeah, I'm pretty wrapped. So, and he's the same. It's like the experiences we've been through were all to bring us to this. When I let go of control and wanting something, it just happened. And when I got clear with everything, to be here, it just came in. It was amazing.
How amazing, isn't it? Because Eve actually marked we did the clearing on the Saturday, to clear the 5 emotion, anger, hurt, guilt and all
that
those.
Afternoon, and that evening was a text message.
That's amazing.
That evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
So-
evening was the first contact.
Yeah. So from Eros, it sounds like it's not just the erotic love that about just wanting your body, okay? Or just, fiery telling you all the good stuff. But when you truly can talk about 3.5 hours, he's a sure, you are the one who do a lot of talking and he listen a lot too, or you listen at the same time. But the fact is 3.5 hours, 5 p.m. to 3 a.m., man, that is amazing.
I know. It's same. He's the same with conversation. It's just ease and flow. It's so easy, and it's how it should be. It's none of this awkwardness. It's none of this pregnant pauses. It's just easy, like it should be. Yeah.
Or you need to
yeah,
hide
it's
yourself.
good.
You can just be truly yourself.
I just be myself. He just, he
Yeah.
adores me for me, and I adore him for him, and it's awesome. Yeah. So far so good.
Thanks for sharing. This is so exciting. And remember, I'm going to press your wedding.
About 4.5 years single, ladies. So yeah, it's good.
Beautiful.
Okay, feel of warm affection of friendship. So if what you described that, I think that's really truly some affection and friendship building stronger there. So I would like to hear from you guys your love for your friends or like not be your blood relatives, or how would you describe those type of love? Philos, how would you see that?
You just want the best for them, and you want to like be part of their celebrations and their wins or whatever, and their good times, but you just want to be there for them as well in their lower times. You just you look forward to speaking to them or seeing them, and you sort of feel like you can just be yourself and you can trust them, and they trust you, and it's an equal relationship. Yeah, give and take. It's not like you think like some friendships I've had is like I feel like I'm more the therapist or the support worker or something, I'm the one helping them all the time. So I think when you have it balanced, it's special like that.
Okay. So there's a give and receive, isn't it? In this, the Philos love, when we talk about friends or like, to, the blood related or parents or to kids. But this one, the affection that I believe you go further in terms of with your kids and your own parents. Okay. But with your friends is, remember, we talk about the circle. We would love to be able to love everyone, but the level of involvement and the level of intensity will be different, right? So I would like to hear from you guys your experience about your love for your friends, your experience. I mean, let not be pretentious here that we have not been hurt before. We might have been, betrayed experience before. Then I would like to hear from you guys, like, how do you see your love for your friends where you are at? And what will be the next step for us to know that we could invest to continue to love our friends continuously?
Well, I think really hard with friends at the moment. Like, there's just so much going on in the world. Like, I'm not talking to a lot of my friends at the moment. Like, the whole, vaccinated and non-vaccinated was a huge one, where there was an instant division. Then I added, I've told you about what happened with 3 of them out of my top, inner circle. So yeah, I'm still dealing with that as well. But I'm at a stage now where I'm just looking at, like, I've still got a lot of older friends that, if we don't see each other for a little while, we catch up, and it's just no different, like 25 years or something like that. They've been around on the scene for. There's not many. There's, at least a couple of those. But I'm at a stage now where I'm really looking for new friendships where it's more relevant, purposeful, and yeah, that's where I'm at the moment, is creating new ones. Of course, like I'll see things, you know, if someone puts something up on Facebook and I see what's happening in their life, or, you know, they tell me what's going on, your heart sings, like you're just so happy as well. Like one friend, I haven't been in touch with her for quite a while, but she put something up about her daughter today has COVID, and we had a really close friendship on and off for a little while since primary school. But just things like that, when you see her and it's like, oh no, your daughter's sick, and you just feel it, like, yeah. Although we haven't even caught up in maybe 2 years. That's kind of where I'm at. Like friendships or relationships for me is like, that's going to probably be, you know, a next series of my chapter as a high priority, I suppose, where I think the last chapter was more like about career and wealth, which it will still be there. It'll just be a different, but I'm going into a stage more of purposeful relationships.
I like how you said that, purposeful. So it's like, you know, you're intentionally wanting to create something, and yeah, you'll sort of, you know, put a lot of, I suppose, effort into it. So because it's purposeful and you're wanting that.
Yeah, and it's a different chapter. Like a lot of those friends that I had for that moment in time, like we had our kids together, or we do all the kid activities and things like that. And that's what I mean. I think it was beautiful. It served a purpose for that moment in time. But when you add COVID and other stuff, then we're just different. Like I'm an entrepreneur, I'm in business. They're all like, you know, detectives, council workers, psychologists, psychiatrists. And we're just very different on other sides of the spectrum, where, yeah, this time round, I think if I'm going all in 100% in real estate, I know that, I think I've mentioned this before, that I'm going to want to be with other entrepreneurs or someone doing something different. So it's, they understand type thing.
Absolutely. So yes, it's very true. Being purposeful, knowing. Okay. So you remember the circle of friends, that we have acquaintance, we have good friends, we have close friends, and it's us in the center. So first of all, we need to be our good friends to ourselves, knowing and able to love ourselves before we could go and love others. Okay. And there are times people will come in and out of our life. So do we going to have a gratitude, you know, for people who have been on our path, and we might have to go separate way. And as you said, Mel, you know, some people that you have known for 25 years, and seems like, and they know you so well that they just be there for you, just like 25 years ago. But there are people came and gone. All right, but bless them, because there's always a reason for our path to cross.
Yeah.
The reason here we have this, you know, sisterhood is like we're here for one another. We're supporting one another. We're learning from one another. Okay, part truth that I'm going to tell you guys is like, hey, darling, something we need to look out for. But right now, learning to love ourselves, and what are the variations, or, you know, in different love, and how are we going to stepping into the agape love in a way that we could truly making an impact in this world, because you are all, or we are all called to service well, and we all have a mission to accomplish, but all of our missions are different. That's why I'm so excited that to see that we all going to make such a big impact with your superpower, with my superpower, isn't it? So philos is something that we talk about affection. We're talking about, you know, the love for our friendship, the connection. But the question is, do you think you would be willing to die for your friends? How many of us will be willing to die for our friends?
I think so. My close friend.
Your close friend. So it's not all your friends, but someone who is very special to you. Eve?
Someone.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought I was on mute. For somebody that it's hard to say. For a close friend, yes. For
Mm.
somebody else in trouble, you don't know how you're going to react when your adrenaline kicks in situations. Sometimes I can jump in and try and help people.
Yeah.
Without thinking, so what harm could come to yourself, but if somebody was in danger, but you don't know until it happens.
Yeah, it's more like the situation. Like if I see a car coming, I'll go and drag my friends out. So I don't know whether I'll get killed in the meantime. But in a sense that would I truly be willing to just die for my friend? Let's say I know someone is going to attack them. Would I deliberately go say, don't hurt her, come and kill me instead? I don't know whether I'm willing to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
But this led us to the next one, the agape love in the biblical sense. Why is it that we talk about agape love? That is the unconditional love. So from a biblical sense, we talk about Jesus came to this earth to die for us. All right. So that is the importance I want to bring forth for you guys. I'm not saying you have to believe in Jesus or you have to be a believer. Because we all are free to have our own value system. But agape means really the unconditional love. Okay. So in a sense that I would say, if there's anything going to happen for my husband, my son, or my mom, I'm willing to die for them. That's my okay. But then whether it's for the rest of the world, my unconditional love is probably look like not that I'm willing to die for them, but my unconditional love is I'm willing to walk for extra mile with them, even though it might not be easy for me. But the love that I'm willing to give is I want to show people there's goodwill in each of us. It's just the circumstances. Are we willing to listen, to give the time, or the compassion? Now the floor is open to you, ladies. How would you interpret the unconditional love in your immediate friendship group, or with your colleague, or with the general society? How would we be able to apply to that in order to go into our third pillar as well when we are in business? How would you apply that unconditional love in your business or your career?
I
I
think
don't know, it's really hard. I'm going through a transition. So that like I felt so upset that I'd lost my clients, my friends, that that was a messy situation. But I've got Sam here and she's all about like laying down the sword and just, just let it go. Like no matter how much someone stabs you, walks over you, is nasty, you just let it go. Just give them more kindness, more love, and eventually they're just going to have to give kindness back. At first, I found it really difficult to comprehend and understand, and even now on certain topics, I'm like, I wonder if she still agrees with this, on this, would she do this? But yeah, it's starting to sink in with that message, where before I was really, I couldn't do that. No, I've got to set my boundaries. I'm not going to be walked all over. No, I'm not going to tolerate that. No, that's not okay. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting question.
Yeah, it's sort of like for me, it's if you can stay in a high vibration, those that are not a match, vibrational match or frequency match, will just dissipate anyway. They'll just be out of your field.
Yeah.
So those that are at that energy level with you, you'll attract. So any of that junk will just disappear, or they'll level up to you. So if you keep your frequency high, I don't know if you guys are into law of attraction, but if you keep it high,
awesome.
if you keep it up, it's like I've had an issue at work myself where there's a lot of ego at play with some staff, and they're deliberately, because I seem to be attracting a lot of light and giving a lot of light and energy, and I'm getting a lot of kudos at work from students. So I'm a trainer. they seem to be feeling threatened by it. So they're doing everything to undermine. And I'm trying not to. Once upon a time, I'd be all upset and in ego myself. How could they? How dare they? And carry that like, that, oh, nobody cares, nobody loves me, in victim mentality, where now it's like, okay, whatever they're going through, clearly it's something that they need to sort out. It's not my issue. I just won't take it on board. And I'll still stay up here. I'll stay up in that high frequency.
Yep.
And as it turns out, it's all getting sorted. The boss is seeing it. I've never had to do anything. They've actually witnessing that these people have a bit of a bully mentality, and it's all getting sorted, and I haven't had to do a damn thing. So I'm just stay up. Stay up high.
Keep loving, being kind.
Keep loving you. You watch you, and you keep, yeah, that's right. And you be in that space of understanding that clearly there's something they need to sort. It's not your problem to solve. But whatever it is, don't have them lower your vibration. You stay positive at whatever it is that you want, yeah? And keep yourself really up there high. They'll either come up to you or they'll just disappear because they're not meant to be in your realm.
Well said. Thanks, Evie.
You're welcome. I hope that helped.
Look at her. How confident is this woman? It's your higher self, isn't it? Stay up the high vibration and being higher self, being positive. Like no matter how our intention would be, the truth will come out. That's really the truth of the agape love. That when we truly coming from love, all the lies will disappear. And I'm so glad that Mel, you have your good friend staying there with you. And it's such a tiny manner that you experience this love from her as well. I can feel the love from your friend, that she is truly there for you.
Oh, thanks. That's lovely. It's still a new friendship, so we're still going down that road. But yes, I'm really grateful to have her here. I'm glad you can feel that. Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's just a meant to be moment.
Yeah, good. So as you say, purposefully building relationship is not just about what can I get. Because in this society, unfortunately, people ask, what is it in for me? But before we ask it is, what could I offer? So many ladies, single lady ask, oh, I don't know when is my perfect man going to rock up. And I said, ladies, how often we ask the question, am I the perfect woman for the man? Okay. So once we learn how to love ourselves, we will be able to love others. Because love doesn't mean that no boundaries, no limitation, because we all have children ourselves or nephew and nieces. We need to have tough love. Am I going to say yes to my son, being on the YouTube all day long, being on the Xbox all day long? No, I have to say no to him. Yeah.
Frozen there, Catherine, for a while.
Have I lost you?
I heard lost you. That was the bit I heard, but before that, couldn't hear. No, you're still frozen.
Lost you now.
Internet. So be back.
I've been reading a lot of those, like the Facebook divorce, separation and divorce support pages and things like that. And that's what really had me questioning some things. Like you hear some really horrific stories, like women are just in love with their husband and they've got 2 other women going on and treating the kids really badly, but treating someone else's kids amazingly. And that's when I'm like, the justice thing comes up, and I find, that's where I'm finding it really hard to understand is love unconditionally. Or, like on The Lion King, the movie, and I can't remember all the names, but that's where the battle is. Like I can see both sides, like where the love and the kindness just keep doing that, but at the same time, like if someone is really trying hard to harm you, that's where I just, I'm still a little bit confused there.
Someone's trying to harm you?
No. Like in the event, like of this whole, just unconditional love, just love unconditionally. Of course, for your family members, like my children, all those in media, is always going to be unconditional, no matter what. Catherine, I was just saying that I've been reading a lot of comments on those divorce and separation Facebook pages, and there's some horrific stories, like women who have children, they're so in love with their husband, and he's got 1 or 2 affairs going on and leading all 3, and not caring for his own children or wife, but caring for someone else's children, those type of things. And that's where I've got the that I haven't completely cleared it. Like, how do you just keep giving, serving, loving, kind to those type of people when they just walk all over you?
Well, you don't.
Take.
You don't. You don't. They've already checked out. So why would you do that to yourself? I once did that, but why would you do that to yourself? They checked out. They checked out before that event happened or that affair happened. They'd already checked out of the relationship. Only we choose to not see it, or if we see it, we choose not to believe it, for whatever our own stories are going on. That's how it shows up for me. Like, I wouldn't have said that the end of my first marriage. I wouldn't have said that. But now, having done so much personal development and looking at me, and what would trigger me, why, and in relationship coaching now, you know that's already a sign that there's something somewhere that's broken.
And I love what you said on an energetic level, like the universal spirit or God takes care of it. And by the way, that wasn't me. These are just some of the comments I see.
No, I got that. I got it, absolutely. But but you just wouldn't do that. So those people need full support, because if they're still not seeing that story, that's their own story they're making up, by the way. They're not seeing the reality of what is.
I think they see the reality by it, and I guess that's part of the healing process.
Absolutely,
shock, and then what do you do, and then all those different stages.
And there's so many different stages, and it's you don't know what's going on inside people's heads. So like their own, you don't know what's happened in their life to have them in that situation to be thinking the way they're thinking. It's easy for us when we're sitting clear of everything. But if you're not, we all know what that feels like. I'm sure in some form or whatever in our lives, we all know what that is to believe in something that's not real. Or the wanting of something.
What about this one? Can I just see what your thoughts are on this? Say if like we're attacked, Australia, the country that is attacked, and they're just coming at us like ruthlessly, like bombs, deaths, children, mums, dads, everyone. Like, which approach do you take there? Like, you just send out more love and kindness and hope that they stop, or you're actually going to defend? Like, anyway, so my brain overthinks a lot of things. Like one analogy.
Great questions.
I think that what you say, Mel. What you say? What Australian get attacked? Or
I just mean like when we talk about unconditional love. I guess it's one thing when we're talking about unconditional love or a lover or friends or children. But I guess the same analogy or the same situation can be extended. Like, what's the difference of, giving love and kindness and just love unconditionally to one person, where, the exact, like a very similar story is, are you going to do the same thing when it is, what I just said, something like it's the same kind of thing, a bully or bullies who take the same approach. Like, are you going to really stick to your guns and your rules and what you've created when that happens?
I get what you mean, but maybe because I got dropped out, you didn't hear me clearly. For unconditional love doesn't mean that we are not going to have boundary.
Yeah.
Okay, because if my son come and ask me, I want one lolly, probably I will say yes. But if he continue to come and ask me for 10 lollies on the same day, no.
Yeah.
And he will tell me that I hate you, mom. All right. So when there's come to wartime, it's difficult to say at that moment what we'll do, but we'll continue to show
Yeah. And it's different.
kindness.
Your son is your son.
If your enemy like
Yeah.
and in relationship, what if
Absolutely.
we don't know what
So Mel, sorry.
no, go on, Eve.
No, sorry. What were you going to say? I sorry, I missed it because it was a little bit crackly. What were you going to say,
Yeah.
Catherine?
No, I'll talk about that. I mean that we don't have. No, we need to have boundaries. Love doesn't mean that. Unconditional love
Absolutely.
doesn't mean that people walk all over us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So,
have self-love first.
hmm,
And if it's not self-loving and it's mean to you, then it's not going to be the right thing to do.
hmm.
Absolutely. So in war though, Mel,
Yeah.
if you have a look in
So
history,
having justice.
if you have a look in history of when war is on, the camaraderie between people in war, people come out of everywhere to help everybody else. So that is unconditional love. I mean, they've got their own buildings bombed and blown up, and you see people still active with these random acts of kindness to other people. So it just goes to show you that people are really amazing when in tragedy. Yeah, there's some really good people. Not all people, but there's some really good people in the world.
Yeah. No, it's definitely that positive as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not something overnight we'll be able to just please unconditional love, but more likely when we experience that, then we'll know how truly unconditional love will look like. Okay. But, Mel, unfortunately, as you said, with your current situation, it's hard to hear this unconditional love. You
Yeah.
need to forgive those who wrong me. I need to really hurt me when they actually said they love me and like dearly. It is hard. And Eve have came out from the other side, she will be probably the one who really understand where you are at. When she said, I didn't see the truth about myself in my first marriage. And Eve is not, it's not no secret in our group. You said, okay, has everyone freezed? Oh, okay, sorry.
No, there's no secret. I'm like Zsa Zsa Gabor. I've had 3 husbands. So I've done it 3 times. So 10 years, and 12. So each time was the wrong people for me. They were good people. I saw their kind heart, but they were and it got worse. So quite narcissistic relationships. And all I tried to do was fix people. little Wonder Woman here that thinks she could save the world, and I'd see their beautiful big hearts, but it just ended up getting too hard where I wasn't taking care of me. I avoided taking care of myself. I avoided dealing with myself because I was dealing with everybody else's issue. So it took me a long time to set boundaries and really learn to love on me and give up trying to rescue others. Yeah.
So Mel, it's not like forget about everything, but now the unconditional love, I think it's important for you to focus on yourself.
Yeah, thank you. And that's what I've done. Like I had this, and I do understand the unconditional love. Like I said, I've got different layers of unconditional love. And then as for boundaries, like about a year ago, I was a bit fascinated.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've set the boundaries up all right, and yes, I am separated. So yes, I guess I've set the boundaries up. But
yeah, good on you. Good on you by stepping up. But remember, in a relationship, it's not just one way. Try to do the right thing, but when the other party doesn't want to get onto the boat with you and sailing along towards the horizon, how do you call a relationship? He was still in, on shore and say, yeah, wait till you're halfway through there, can then come back and get me. Hello? we are in the relationship. It meant to be doing all the hard work. Like I don't just pedal myself. You need to bloody come and pedal yourself too. Would that be right, Eve? Like that's how.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, but it is heart wrenching now that having a relationship is not short term. Like Eve has been in 10 years each of the relationship. I believe your relationship are much longer.
Yeah, 16. And look, he wasn't that bad. I was like equally responsible for sure. And that's all it was, is like when you talk about these different layers of love, like, when you are the center, you're the one, and the early days, yes, it's a honeymoon stage. And then you get that next stage after that, and you're still somewhat the one. And then I guess it's hard for a woman when she's doing everything, like cook, clean, care, everything, and then everyone else goes first. Like it's a hard, anyway.
No.
Yeah, no, but then you're just saying it right there because the woman puts herself last. So it's not about that. If anything, and it's in my teaching as well, it's just basic first aid. If we don't take care of ourselves first, or nurse or whoever, if we don't take care of ourselves, we're no good for anyone.
Yeah.
So the first person is you. Oxygen mask on you first when you're in an airplane, then your kids.
Yeah.
Because if you're unconscious, what good are you to anyone? So you got to fill your own cup up first, Mel.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I was okay with doing that some of the time.
Yeah.
I think there's both sides.
Well, I must say you're very brave, owning up to it that, it's not just he was bad, but you need to take responsibility. That's really,
and I do. I have. Like I wasn't the greatest either.
That's very brave. Not many women are going to say as well is, the bloody man had an affair. Okay. So I often ask, I wonder what that relationship would give your man feeling fulfilled. She is not much younger than you. She is not much prettier than you. She is not much richer than you. I'm sorry, as this is going to be a very hard question for some. What do you think that the man gets some fulfillment in that affair? These are hard questions for us to think about. Okay, but obviously it's not you, Mel, but like the fact is you owning up to it. This is fantastic. That's the first step towards healing. The journey is not going to be easy, but you are a brave soul by owning up to it.
Absolutely.
Like I said, I'm only taking 50% share. Like I'm equally taking my 50% share.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll take either side.
That's half. That's where when I walked in the end for me it wasn't about who did what. It was about what have I learned from this and how did I contribute. It wasn't anything to do with anyone but me. Yeah. I didn't, in the end, it was my survival. And I have to work out from there, if I saw the signs, why didn't I do anything about them? Where was I at that level to love on myself? And so that began my journey 4.5 years ago. It wasn't about anything. I look back and I'll still say when people ask me, I go, yeah, I've had 3 marriages. I would have had an opportunity to love 3 people. Wrong people, but my choices. At the time, I thought they were right. So, and now I know who I am. It'll never happen again. But it's all part of your growth and learning. There's no bitterness, and you can just move on. You can move on much better. You have a bit better. You'll be a better version of you as a result of what had happened. You never want your marriage to end. You don't get married for a marriage to end.
No, that's right.
It's not like, I'm going to collect husbands. It's not that. It's that you get married because you want to make that commitment to somebody and it means something. And it's meant to be a forever thing. But, people change. You change. They change. Your goals change. Your dreams change.
Yeah.
And if you don't grow together, you grow apart. Stuff happens. You don't want that to happen either, but that's the reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thanks, Evie. Have you got kids, children?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
No, thank goodness. Not that I love kids, but thank goodness I haven't had to mess up any children
that's
in
a
my
lot of
journeys. Although maybe if I had had the kids, things would have been different. Huh? I would have been focused more on the children than myself, right? So I don't know. Just meant to be. I don't have any children.
Oh, relaxing life.
It's a different lifestyle. I went through stages of I wished I had, and I felt ripped off and all of that. But you know, it is what it is, and yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I've got lots of children around me, and lots of nieces and nephews, and great nieces and nephews, and yeah.
That's good. I was just going to ask you, like, oh, why do you do that? So good. Thank you for helping.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, we are all on a journey,
Absolutely.
but imagine in this world without love, what the world will become. But when I say we are here for a mission,
Yeah.
so how could we, expand this love and share with others?
Okay. Well, I can share this with you. I don't have a lover, but gee, I love linen at the moment. I can't stop buying quilt covers and sheets. Just, yeah, may as well like just have nice quilts and
Why not?
yeah.
You just love it, and you love nice quilt, and and to sleep more comfortably.
Absolutely.
Besides your undies and your bra, will be one of most intimate item. Okay, so go out, buy some lovely, sexy lingerie. People say, "Oh, always buy for your." No, put some sexy lingerie for yourself that you feel. Not necessarily depends on material to make you feel better, but when you put on some sexy lingerie, and you know what you're wearing in
summer.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, we'll go to Bali.
Yeah.
Oh,
But like, it's a secret no one's know. I felt like, I feel good because I got a good pair of undies with me. How many of you still have how many of you actually have undies with holes and said, no, I'm not floating it up? Okay. Buy some good undies and good bra, not for your anyone. Or maybe if you need to get some sexy lingerie.
No, I already look after myself like that. I like all the lacy stuff, so that's for me. bonus for him maybe one day. All good.
Maybe. Well, he might have to, get it for yeah. Okay. Now, any question that I could help you with this week? All good?
All good. All good.
All good. Okay, fantastic. Okay, Tam, would you mind to make another appointment? Because unfortunately you missed out, so we'll call for growth. And then we go from there, and I'll see you guys next week. And
See ya.
Mel, I just want to check with you. Would you be able to, have you booked your air ticket for the Christmas in July?
Not yet, but I've been keeping an eye and looking at flights every now and then. So I said that would be one of my intentions today, was to go back on and have a better look.
Yeah, it's just that I need to keep an eye for keep like this. We have a special guest speaker, and she's going to bring her crew as well. So I just need to keep a room
All
for
right.
confirm.
Have you all booked Evie and Tam?
Absolutely, I'm looking forward to it. It'd be great if you're coming down. It'll be beautiful. It'd be great to meet you in person.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah,
I'll
Catherine.
time.
Like, yeah, you've got enough rooms, right? Like if you've got a special guest and you need more rooms, like is there? Anyway, I'll get onto it so you can start planning anyhow.
Yeah, so we'll need the number. So how about you do the registration? I'll send the link for you to
Yeah. Okay. Great.
registration. Then it's a confirm. So I know you got your air ticket, but like at the moment you're pretty much getting some good deals, because that is not. Yeah, better get it early for that week.
All right. I'll get on. Thank you.
End of year sales, maybe end of financial year sale.
Yeah, definitely. All right, cool.
Is next week the last one?
I gotta go, guys.
All right, talk to you guys soon.
See you.
Great. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Is next